All right, for SPY for today, 10-minute. All right, you got a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close on the 2-hour. On the 2-hour, we have a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. On the daily chart, bearish engulfing. Okay, higher high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA. All right, on the daily chart, still in a downtrend. All right, still in the bullish upper third, so price action still bullish up here. Spiking the August low anchored VWAP right through here. And that wound up populating at 581 instead of 579. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. Let's take a look at the game plan. All right, on the game plan. And we had price. Let's move all this out of the way. Okay, price came down under the pivot. You could have played the red erases green right here at the pivot. You had red erases green. Right here was the green up, and then right there was your entry candle, or you could have waited for the red erases green down here underneath, and you had an entry there as well. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute. You had 2 entries to the downside, and you can see price got caught underneath VWAP and got caught underneath the prior day's low anchored VWAP. So price action, you can see price action pulling back there. So there's SPY on the 10-minute. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ game plan. See if I can get this out of the way. All right, QQQ, you had a red erases green right here, almost the same place as SPY. Red erases green, there's your entry candle. Or you could have played the game plan, which starts with a breakdown right there at 498.82, and you had a nice three to four candle drop right into these lows here. So QQQ game plan worked. Let's take a look at QQQ on the daily chart. All right, QQQ on the daily chart here, bearish engulfing. Higher high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Down here at the midpoint, no longer in the upper third. Price action is just neutral for QQQ. Still bullish for SPY. Still neutral for FNGU. Price action closing well below the upper third. Again, another outside day. Again, higher high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Price action pulling back to the midpoint. Just neutral. Again, you move up, you give it up. That's just neutral. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Okay, Diamond Dow, outside day as well. Higher high, lower low, closing under bearish trap, under the 17. Over the uptrend line, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, still up in the upper third, still bullish on Diamond Dow. IWM. IWM is bearish, closing in the lower third. Price action, same as the others, higher high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. IWM now bearish under the all-time high anchored VWAP there. Take a look at our technicals. T2122, we visited the buy zone, made a higher low and a lower high, then produced another lower low and a lower high and a lower low and a lower high and another lower low, winding up doing a full circle right back into the sell zone and even making lower lows while in there. All right, so it does not look good for tomorrow. T2123 just got a little bit of buying program at the beginning of the day, and then the bears came in and took over. Price action still caught underneath this falling 200 SMA. Same here on the 3-bar. Price action still caught underneath this falling 200 SMA. Price action spiking the prior all-time high right here. Price action is not looking good. Again, moving up and giving it up. FNGU, nothing gonna be good here. All right, a little red, little green, little red, little green, and then after the 2 martini lunch, there you can see the bears took over, and they pushed price all the way down, making another lower low. Still caught underneath this falling 200 SMA. Still caught underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. So just neutral here on FNGU. Let's take a look at XLE. Actually, yeah, XLE. All right, XLE, same as the other candles, higher high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the 17, under the downtrend line, under the other downtrend line, under the 12-month high anchored VWAP, down here in quadrant 2, just neutral right there. XLE, UNG got a nice candle, higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap over the rising 17 up in quadrant 4. That's bullish over this 12-month high anchored VWAP. UNG bullish. USO got a same thing as the others, a higher high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, underneath the 17, underneath the buy box, underneath, but above this 3-year high anchored VWAP, over that, coming into this uptrend line right here. They're just neutral. If they close underneath this 3-year high anchored VWAP, that's going to be bearish. There's USO. GLD. GLD got a higher high and a higher low, closing over, inside a bearish trap over the 17 EMA. Still bullish up here over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Gold, still bullish. Silver. Higher low, higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17, up here in quadrant 3, just neutral. Not in the upper third, not in the upper quadrant. There's silver, just neutral right there. And you can see price action just struggling. Right there, let's take a look at SMH. SMH got a outside day, higher high, lower low, bearish engulfing, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17. SMH is bearish now, closing in the lower third, closing underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, closing underneath the midpoint, underneath the trap, underneath the 17. Nothing good happening in SMH. XLK. Same thing, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the trap, underneath the 17, underneath a prior all-time high anchored VWAP, down here in quadrant 3, leaning on the midpoint, just neutral for XLK. Financials print a new all-time high today. How about that? Didn't see that one coming. Higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17. Up here in quadrant 4, XLF prints a new all-time high. IYT. Transports, another outside day, closing under the trap, under the 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, not in the upper third, just neutral right here on IYT. All right, traders, that's it for today. Love the charts with the zones. Thanks, Peter. All right, traders, that's it for me for today. Thoughts on TZA? On the daily chart, you got a higher low, you made a higher high. You're coming into resistance right here at 1668. All right. And you're kind of sitting on support right there. If you can hold, see right there over this wick or this red candle right there. All right, so right up there, that looks bullish. Got a big candle here. Keep an eye on that. That could be an exhaustion candle. You're exhausted. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Melinda. Thanks, Scott, Graham, Robert, everybody. TZA looks good. Just keep an eye on that. Make sure it doesn't fall below this red candle. Thanks, Peter. Did anybody make some money today? It's a tough day, but we made some money. Threat of lumber tariffs. We should have all the lumber we need. I don't understand that.
Telephone number 239-283.
Yeah, we got so much timber in North Florida and Georgia. There should not be any issues at all. We shouldn't be importing any lumber. I mean, we've got tons of timber, and it's land managed timber. I mean, these are big plots of land with you look down each row. I don't know why we're importing lumber. It must be cheaper. That's all I can think. I don't know why. I mean, it's not necessary. You got tons of lumber up in Maine. You've got tons of lumber in Florida. Tons of lumber in Alabama, Georgia. You would not believe the acreage of land that's planted for harvesting just for lumber. Due to regulations, I believe that. Well, there has been a heavy demand on lumber. I know that. There has to be due to all everything in Florida. That's all like fried lumber. They can get some of that out of there though. They can harvest some of those burnt trees and pull some product out of it. It'll be more costly because there'll be a lot of waste on the outside, but inside there'll be some nice hard lumber. Probably run a skill saw through it. It'll probably shoot sparks because it's so dried up. Yeah. Carolina's got fires too. Yeah. We need to do something for these fires. There's got to be there should be a simple fix. We'll see. All right, traders. Anybody make money? Anybody? Yeah, need more rain. Greg got some. Good. Mando, did you get any today? Make any profits? He got some. All right. Anybody else? You started with Tesla. Robert got some. Awesome. Tex, I know you got some. Yes. Melinda made some. All right. All right. That's what I like to hear. All right. Congrats to everybody in there. Yeah, it was hard. It was not easy. I really didn't see the Bears doing a bearish engulfing on that big candle. I did not see that coming. I knew they were capable. Yeah, I did futures as well. But, yeah, way to go, Graham. All right, guys. I'll see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning.